Welcome to Nagaland TV Sob Malnagawas. Aji June 25th, Dimapur Naga Students Union kanwa ekta press conference address kurela ase. Aru man hunyo pashe ki aji tan edu address kura tharo ekta alleged tanu allege kui thaga Nirmal Jain kun manu tai illegally mati khan bikai ase nuli naga manula documents khan hubi nuli indigenous fake indigenous certificate khan banaina tai manu ke mati khan illegally bikai ase aru kine ase kushe. Aru itekla naina Dnsu kan me allege kwesi ki idu manu du land mafia si kushe. Tu man idu opodi details sago karni tahan wa press conference address kwa details sai sawaye.
The office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union has convened this press conference to address a matter of serious concern which directly affects the rights and the future of the Nagas, which is the illegal occupation of land by non-locals individuals using fraudulent documents. The office has undertaken internal fact findings, and we possess credible and documentation and proof of these unlawful activities. We want to be very clear, and please be reminded that we are not against the non-local communities who are doing business here and living peacefully within our state. However, we strongly oppose those individuals who comes in the guise of doing business and earning a livelihood in our state and engage in illegal activities like the illegal occupation of land. One such case involves Mr. Nirmal Jain, who has illegally procured land and illegally procured an indigenous certificate. He claims that he is a genuine citizen, genuine indigenous of Nagaland. However, the proof and evidences which we have in our office speaks otherwise. Subsequently he has purchased land and engaged in multiple transactions which he is not legally entitled to undertake. The Dnsu has gathered sufficient evidence in this matter, and we are bringing this into the public attention not because of biasness or hatred towards anybody, but to protect the rights and the land of the Nagas. Let it be known that the office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union will not be taking law into our own hands. We will be officially submitting a letter to the government through the Deputy Commissioner of Dimapur tomorrow and urge the government to initiate a thorough investigation and take proper legal action against the culprit. Furthermore, we also appeal to our politicians, to our bureaucrats, to our Naga national workers and influential Naga people not to support and not to shield such individuals. Let the law take its own course of action. We do know and understand the level of influence such person has in our state. He is someone who boldly declares that he is closely connected with the politicians, with the bureaucrats, and all these things. But the rights of the indigenous people cannot and should not be compromised under any circumstances. The office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union remains committed to safeguarding the interests of the Naga people and will continue to be a voice against any injustice in all forms. That's from my part. I would like to give time to our colleagues and President to highlight in detail.
Oh, thank you, Alleges. The gist of the issue regarding today's press conference has been clearly explained by Alleges. However, I would also like to add some points. Naga Manukhandu Article 371A Mohanke protect Kurigina explicitly protects non-locals from exploiting us. Regarding the ownership of land also, this means that non-locals are legally prohibited from purchasing lands within Nagaland. Any transaction that attempts to bypass or violate these protections, including through proxy ownership or the fraudulent use of indigenous certificates, is illegal, null, and void, and will be challenged. On May 29, Dnsu also gave a press release regarding this. Manu non-locals kan bishi fraudulent means para inia kurina mati kini gena buya se aru itu ekla no hoina tai khan la bitor de transaction kuri ase aru itia this particular name Nirmal Jain tai illegally fraudulent means para indigenous certificate loi gena ase aru he is one land mafia na line mafia kubo tai ini mati laga patta khan bi tai tampered kuri gena bikiri kurubo manu non indigenous manu khan ode bikiri kurubo inia kuri gena ahi ase tai tu le tu 2002 de indigenous certificate banai na ase itu bi ma khan GS para coalition we have compelling evidence to show that tai tu le tu pasala non indigenous na hoy tai 1980s de Dimapur de ahala ase kuine man itu khan khobor pura evidence pura ase man lode aru tai tu le tu man tai ke office te bi jaine log paise yete bi aise ina une tai tu le tu ma futani para ko ase moi tu le tu dangor manu khan ke jane ase like under naga political groups khan ke bi dangor manu khan ke jane ase government te holi dangor manu khan ke jane ase kuine imam futani para bi wahan ke ina bi koise tong mohan tu le tu we will, like we said, will let the law takes its own course of actions, but the government should take and initiate strict action, investigate kuro lage kuine mohan tu itu government ke mangi ase.
The office of the Dimapur Naga Students Union, we have studied, we have thoroughly discussed, we have intensive research, and we found that Nirmal Jain is no other than a land mafia in Dimapur, associated with some high-profile people in Nagaland. And we are also shocked to see that he had already acquired buildings and properties in and around Dimapur in someone names. So, if the government of today can evict the land encroachment in airport Dimapur, then the government has a right to seize the property of Nirmal Jain under the Article 371A, ownership and transferring of land and its resources, preserving the traditional rights of the Naga people. And the very land of the Nirmal Jain can be used as a public property or for development purpose. Thank you.
Regarding this issue, we had a presidential meeting on 21st this month, Saturday, the month presidential meeting. That's a week. So, Keman constitute units, president, GS, to lobby thoroughly discuss. We so Manubi Quating. Exun Manubra, Bahala Manu Exun Bra, Charta, pasta plots, properties in our Dushan be the same follow protection, mana future generation to key inherit grow. Mana future generation na bachan gare to mati to nathagao to na. Aro itu one of the biggest crime mase. Plot law to legally law to there is different. Anyway, fraud documents pra itu banai na manu ke fool kuri na. And I'm sure tomba government officials so you go to big shots can be involved as it. Ina tai some of the tie up gani ina puro paise. So the Dimapur Naga Student Union, we seek the public support also. Kena mane marikla prado voice good hayu kam hai. Man lode 12 tribes আছে Dnsu under Dnsu 12 tribes আছে সব মানুহ পাবি এইটো একদম ফাইট কৰিবলৈ লাগে এইটোতো ঠিক নাই না গৈ না we have mana decision to আছে এইটো কাৰণে মান urge কৰে public কিবি মান নাই this fight এইটো strong brahman ke support কৰি গৈ না urge কৰে আছে
The involvement of non-locals in buying and selling tribal land is highly sensitive and often a controversial issue. It typically involves legal, historical, and ethical concern, especially with regards to tribal sovereignty, land rights, and exploitation. At the end, the government officials should also be questionable as of how these things have turned this ugly. Thank you.
Dimapur Naga Students Union, we gave a press conference. I think last year we also say that we will be doing a verification, especially on ILP. Now, when we talk about verification of ILP, most of the people assume that Dimapur Naga Students will just walk out of the street and started, asking ILP inner line permit or pass to random people. But actually, it was not like that. We just said verification in a sense like to some high-profile people who are misusing the identity in fraudulent means like procuring of indigenous certificate, or maybe they came before prior to 1960 or not. So that we actually mean. So we are doing this verification, fact finding on our part. Then we came to this this Nirmal Jain issue came to the light. On asking around to few non-locals individuals who have procured land, whether they are indigenous or not, almost all of them, non-locals that have purchased land here in Dimapur, is all sold by the Nirmal. Then we went and we also had a talk with him because he's senior, elder. So with respect, we went to his office and we also had a talk. Then we found out itu Nirmal Jain la kahani tu public na jane. Holi bi high profiles kan kunba khan noile down man khan noile kunba government officials kan mi bureaucrats kan mi Nirmal la itu tala activities ta ki kore tu jan thakino parabo. That I highly doubt it. Kilo man ke lok kor jande Nirmal la itu ada pada hudu jante sab man be ekta khato hai aur ita bhi Dimapur de mati vikas hai itu to mati kun vikas hai to Nirmal Jain vikas hai koi to itu mati kun asilo to Nirmal Jain vikas hai koi mati to Nirmal Jain la mati ase koi aur transaction ki kan sab Nirmal Jain par kore ase mati to dam fix korbo upor sab to jaigna asilo to documents to Nagaland la ina takishe to he was smart, smart as honestly. So Thailand mafia takisha. He came Nagaland that early 80s and then Taitu Sohanlan Shetina couldn't ask to look accountant for 2 years and then that's how Tara first Tai Dimapur hat me. So the 80s so what he did was Tai indigenous certificate kina kana lotion to I will give you the files details media sa mo flash korbo mo kan ita to public domain expose korbo kena one nation mo kan ito expose ko ase ito tala indigenous certificate ase 2002 te apply ko kina thakise to 2002 te to Nirmal Jain son of late Balchan Jain resident of Kalibari village town council in Dimapur district of the state of Nagaland belongs to Marwari community and that she Nirmal Jain and his family ordinarily reside in Kalibari village, a town in Dimapur district of the state Nagaland, and his legitimate guardian name has been registered in the electoral roll published on 05/02/1964 electoral roll. Vice serial number 681. Kindly note this. Electoral roll 1964 serial number 681. Tahan voting rights. Saya sapra taki indigenous dish. तो आम्ही kan 1964 681 serial number te jai shakule to I will prove tai kina guna tai তাই either তাই গভর্নমেন্ট অফিচার্স লোক তাই লিঙ্ক আপ থাকি নিতু বানাইছে না তাই গভর্নমেন্ট কে তাই ধোকা দি কিনা বানাইছে ইটো থাকিব ক্লিয়ার ইটো তাই বেশি চালাক তাইছে হি ইজ ভেরি ক্লিয়ার হি ইজ এ ভেরি মাস্টার মাইন্ড এভরিবডি নোস অ্যাবাউট হিম ডাউন হাই পারফর্ম তাকে জানি থাকবে তাহলে ইটো তাহলে অ্যাক্টিভিটিস কি আছে 681 তে বালচন জেন তো আমি ইটো দেখিলো সে এন্ড দেন আই কল হিম ফার্স্ট মোটেল অফিস যাইছে তেল অফিস যাতে ইটো কি কব আমি খানা জাস্ট প্রো কন্ডিশনার he's talking about all these high profile people national workers nambil politician nambil and he even said that before I was born he is here in Dimapur to mohi duplicate naga ta hi original naga hoje and his attitude the audacity to say kilo monoga ase government ko dibi government ko diase na to the attitude of Nirmal Jain boldly speaking that government ko dibi itu matlab to mo khan ki bolab dot lage ase ki involvement of government bi asni ki ta the way he boldly ko to we were also wondering how can he even blame the government mola mokhala babne to mokhan itu satu mo down verification ground de tu tai tala bhai khan be ase gushe na to tala bhai khan Nirmal Kumar Jain tala naam ase na Balchan Jain la chokra Nirmal Kumar Jain tala bhai la naam Pradeep Jajari Dilip Jajari Ashok Jajari Aadhaar card pan card sab and they are all related son of Balchan Jain to Pradeep Jajari la documents khan tibi son of Balchan Jain likhina ase Ashok Jajari bi to aro tala dadu Nirmal Kumar Jain which Nirmal we are talking about 681 electoral roll te tu itu Balchan Jain tu tala babala nam nishna example ami khan naga manbi hinoto noile hokavi bisha asu to itu Balchan Jain family poila thaka tu apni khan bi arte 1964 electoral te arte amar sabo already documents it is okay already anyone is open to write for nata in see apni khan saw parbo to huna tu itu Balchan Jain family khan tu khandan khan tu Manipur na kunba jaga te ase kushi to what he did was itu Balchan Jain tala baba no hoy aru itu Balchan Jain tu 681 de Balchan Jain thaka tu taila bacha khan tu Baurilal Jan Balchan Jain na it's very hard to pronounce actually Mahavir Prasad Balchan Jain Kapur Chand Balchan Jain if you want to note it down you can note it down again media there is na yeah to 681 1964 electoral itu Balchan Jain tu Nirmal Jain la baba no because Nirmal Jain la itu Balchan Jain la chokra which he is claimed to be his father is Pradeep Jajari la baba se Dilip Jajari baba se Ashok Jajari baba se aru tahan tin tu Nirmal Kumar Jain la bhai kana su na to kina kono utu Balchan Jain la chokra alag itla chokra alag aru dusra Balchan Jain aru I went through all this 1964 electoral roll to dusra Balchan Jain aru duita ase moi sath ne to itu Balchan Jain mean nowhere it is related to this Nirmal Jain to tai itu indigenous to tai procure kina tai mati bi kingen ase mati kingena mati bi pato number 40 dak number 218 under block number 6 Dimapur Moza number 1 so itu tala pata bi ita ase he think he can outsmart us ta documents dishe he is very good in documentation but unfortunately tala itu indigenous certificate pra take durmish to ita tak before len ta mati bikase tai pra bikase tala mati pola practically documents tu tala nai his active involvement in selling of land to his own people and non-locals to 1963 para age pra ahaman khan na ye Nagaland de boy jayegi na 1963 before declaration Nagaland ahaman khan to their identities here non nagas indigenous na their identities here tahan murli bitor murbudo so their dream is to get one small land so tai jane to ki non locals man khan kun yete 1960 age pra aise ta khan to yete thakibala se bacha khan bitor brota bose they are not going back to their native homeland so tai itu khan mati bikaise randomly na tempering of duck number and tempering of cheetah book everything hoigina ase de wrong occupation so tai itu kan sab manipulate kun tai bigagina ase I was told that kunma man ke du indigenous na thaka man ke bi mati bigagina ase kushi so itu kan mo publicly expose korbo paise kole to now in regard to this itu Nirmal Jain tu tai tu tai Nagaland tai kina tai first tala kam to tai accountant ko tashi kushe Sohanlal Shetino kumala jede accountant 2 years mission nokana tai boi thakina tai itu matila business start hoise matila business start hoigina tai ekbar Delhi TV jaise Delhi TV same thing disputed area khan jaga de tai mati local khan ke huna to weapons bi kinse kushe tato locals gunda khan use kurkina tai mati kinta poisa bishi komaishi tate bi ta poisa bishi koma to tai Nagaland de khushi mushi kurbo para nishna del deta na pare to law enforcement agency administrative tala picha korasho tai tu ara tai Delhi wapas regna Nagaland te wapas agena he is continuing this act and I was even told that tai kun to local khan use kota she Delhi te local gunda khan use kota she itu kan pra gun point pra ta ke khitai dishi kushi tai bahar pra agena apni tu to maybe he was into some big matila kunba transaction down kurin thashini ki he earns a lot of money to nang tai tade ba ara tai tebra lengta hoigina Nagaland tashe ata Nagaland ba start korase to mati to poila par tai kinni rakhin tha to tai mati to bit by bit bikase ara I was told tai kunba naga man to tai logo involved thaka man to already tai logo par bi hati jese kushe mati bi ta khan pro loi lise kushe to at one point I'm not trying to be biased here will be kun naga man number mati loi gina se naga man loi lo wala ki to no honestly I'm saying clear to involvement kiba involvement for example I'm kan nagaman ki ite ami aita mon bikha to ini ekta chutu mutu court case kore criminal court case kore makhan tete guarantor bisare to poisa garni guarantor jai gena man ke bail ko de man jai court par matin na ho jaye am kan nagaman phas jai to example to nagamai na jan bish baskina se to itu Nirmal Jain to he cannot continue doing this itu ami kan la mati I'm kala Nagaland la mati tai kina kina freely use karo parase tai koti bai tu documents kan banao parase na are the ODCD to say that ami ke nogobi government ki gobi government banai dishe samal kuri kina na to like office di mati she we gave him enough time to ki proof korbe ki apni khan to 1960 age parase ta proof ko parane kil ta ti misa ase ta fraud ta tala baba do 1960 आगे पर हाई के ना आसिक नो ताई कोई के ना सोलबी बालजन दुईटा तीनटा आसे तो and some of the बालजन came within that year na तो itu tala baba no ha man khala history कोई के ना मोखनी को आसे तो tala asul baba बालजन तो 681 serial number 1964 te electoral roll te nai to itu this the electoral roll itu electoral ase all the details here na तो अपने खान की मैं तो पिछले सॉफ्ट कॉपी अपने खान के WhatsApp पे पता है दो तो इतु तो we are demanding the district administration in the government of Nagaland to further investigate in his active involvement into land mafia itu he is very powerful honestly I'm saying माध्य आदमी तो आर्मी खान ता खाना समाज के भी माती है तो समाज के लिए माता तो भविष्य की समाज खान पर भी ताकि कि बाकी भी talo pote kiba karwai kurboni ki because reputation of the Marwar Samaj biya ho jobuto ruining the reputation because it involvement illegal activities involvement to the entire I was told that he is also one of the respected in their Samaj to matisha aha to Nirmal Jain gusa logo Samaj la leader khanu uthi kina ta break korise which means he is very powerful ekdam powerful and people respect him also indigenous elders kan take respect na se or he is a habitual offenders tala case bisha ase hali mahan evidence proof naiklo mahan bi tu kola man nai hali bi tala offend tai tu he is a habitual offenders ara tala adat ase ki any difficulties I shikle tai tu ola ho pare so this time also he thinks that he will do it will be pressure to tai uto dalgina koshish korshe hali bi para nai itu to ami khan tu jiti itu government of Nagaland eviction order kam te Nagaland mati khan bi idu korina sudu na GT am khan la admission khan our government of Nagaland pra itu Nirmal Jain itu land mafia itu fraud ke action law nai koile tu am khan public khan ke am khan request korase itu to Nagaland la bhal kam karni korase Nagaland la identity Nagaland la mati la khata ka ase de it karni to public khan bujwa lage we will continuously exposing such people indigenous kiman loi kina Nagaland la mati king kena ase it ara am khan request korase कि होइसे नागामान कुन खन्ता लोग निर्मल लोग इन्वॉल्व थाकिसे कोले तो नोले निर्मल लोग क्लोज रिलेशनशिप थाकिसे कोले भी इन्हीं का एक्टिविटीज इन्हीं का मान के तो support nokurbi koi kena politicians hobi bureaucrats hobi national workers hobi itu tu nokurbi koi kena national workers hobi the movement of the national workers is to protect the identity and our land our itu mati aram kana pehchan karni ta tahan bi koi kena ase politicians also being a politician they are supposed to protect the Nagas. They are not supposed to pave a way to the outsiders to exploit the Nagas. Itu kan itu bujibi public kan Dnsu kan hoda Dnsu kan ki issue jini issue chilo public kan hoda support kore. This time itu issue bishi sensitive ase. We need your support. Aro itu tu action tu korbo lagi. No shiglo tu itu man ke action kuran tu tai tu continuous korbo ase. Aro knowing the fact that Dnsu is after him in this case, he is still boldly selling off land somewhere in the foreland. Aro itu mati bi tala bin hoy. Ataila ase holi bi documents tala nampara bin hoy. To itu ami kan government kan ke request korase authority kan request korase karwai jabo lage investigation jabo lage aro itu taila tu tabra 1960 pra aibi naibi tabra goisha dalap tai tu tala baba tu 1964 la pra aigena se kushilo tu prove korbi na tala baba tu kunti atak kunti jagare thakise na ekta proof di dibo lagi to proof hi nai to ta khotobra kasu to aro tai prove korshilo ta dusaman balchanjan na nam loi thakbu which is not his father ena koni to balchanjan la indigenous to immediately seize korbo lage itu kan to ami kan later DC later dibola ase ami kan largest proclamation commissioner of Nagaland gibi dibola ase sorry itu indigenous to seize korbo lage aru itu indigenous fact indigenous la nam protai mati loi kina thaka any privileges and benefit have taken through this indigenous should all be seized should all be stopped koi kina ami kan itu koi ase actually see ami kan itu first ami kan konishna public expose koro gno korish aram kan public expose koris kle public expose koris itu sapan jan balage because the way he talk and the way talks are going around he is closely linked with so many high profile it seems na jane ita to mohan durana holbi durushe koile no like any government officials chances are there that government officials are also involved in issuing such kind of patta to him na tai mati kiman biga ase itu patta bi tai pra banai dia asu to number naga manas gosbi itu naga man ke mati ken kushin ta tu ata pata najne to kiman square feet ase total length of square feet ase patta number kun ta ase dak number ke ase na block number kun jaga ta ase itu bi najne to kon ishne itu sab officials can be involved kan thakba pare holi bi kon ishna ami kan publicly expose kobo ka to for accountability and transparency as a Dnsu, as an NGO, pressure group, also to the administrative, let the public know कि itu action take lo no itu itu bishita ami kan FRLOS kurbo na ki kola se district administration ko siklo to khota kola kam nai to evidence are there sida jaigina seize korbo lage to stop korbo lage to itu indigenous certificate to ini ita to indigenous certificate no koide the government have decided to give PRC permanent residence certificate to pura indigenous tachi to itu kan to sab close corner rakit bola ke there is no such ki karwai jaisho golibi itu immediate evidence ase electron 1964 ami kan ita list bi eta ase attachment I will give you tala mati bi eta ase tai mati ami kan ke submit kor di itu ekla dishel bi tala number 2 ta 3 bi thakko pare itu tu pura olai jabo land revenue officer la office de jaikena tala details sikle to tala nam pra mati man ase na property man ase itu olai jabo to itu tu government la ase in fact I mati loina thabi tu government na thakshi to encourage kono bhal asu to itu karni itu ami kan public li domain olai ken ase itu bishita ami kan letter likhibo to our commissioner of Nagaland through our DC by tomorrow aro itu tu makan presidential meeting bi kurna ase we have been discussing regarding this case for so long with our trouble unit also we have received complaint about that matter also including this encroachment of government land, public land, Nagaland land by individuals. Itu like you said, itu train station lah tu. Encroachment lah itu kan issue tu at district administration with all the CEOs of, especially under Naga Council, collectively makan itu issue tu. Itu Naga Council pura lead program kota kas. So I think the right person, the right body to give answer is Naga Council, headed by the Naga Council. Obviously we are also into it with the Naga Council. তো হলে কোৱা নিচিনা এইটো ডেভেলপমেণ্ট কৰিছে ক'লেতো এইটোতো when it comes to itu article 371 there see I'll tell you article 370
Forgive me for stopping you there, but what my colleague asked is, what will be the next step of the Dnsu if the state government does not take action on this issue?
or in this issue no they will have to they are supposed to be they are supposed to be a caretaker of the of the safety of the people. I mean, what to say? What do I call it? I forgot. I'm getting nervous now. That's why. Constitution says they are supposed to follow that. No, they are the caretaker, and they are the law enforcement agency. They are the authority, right? Authority. So it is their duty. They are not above the law. Even if they are authority, they themselves are not above the law.
But
So,
Nirmal Jain seems to be very confident that he's not going to get caught.
whoever is involved with whoever government officials is involved with Nirmal Jain and that is trying to hijack the genuine issues of the Dnsu of the Nagas, that government officials will also be exposed. They cannot run away from this. There are kinds of fraudster. Legally manke fraud korala, legally manke scam korala, illegally korala. So ami khan itu apni local ase, apni ke jai kina माटी तो निर्मल असली माटी तो आपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स रासो तो आपने तो कबो तुम्हारा माटी आसो कनो कबो तो कोर्ट जली भी तो डॉक्यूमेंट्स अपने नंबर बनाएंगे ना से तो इन दैट केस आमी खान में तो वी आर नॉट द राइट अथॉरिटी टू कमेंट ऑन दैट कार्रवाई जब इन्वेस्टिगेशन जाके ना इन्वेस्टिगेशन जब से तखन फॉर एग्जांपल लोकल नंबर माटी तो लेके ना से निर्मल तो ना तो ही हैज द राइट टू बाय लाइन तो ताई तो सिस्टम तो कुछ इंता खिला सो तो nobody can do anything with Nirmal Jain. तो इतना बिशप पता नहीं आसुदो. Unfortunately ताला indigenous पर ताला दुर्गिना एक दिन चुटु दुर्बा कादी तो आसुदो. ताई सब मन बिया कुर्गिना से ताई एक ते नगा हरम मना से तो ताई आजी दुख पासे. दिल दिवी जगना दुख पासे ये दिवी दुख पासे. तो क्या सिर्फ ताई example GT Nirmal पर documents बनाए से ताई नगा मना से ताला नंबर ताला दाग नंबर ठीक नहीं. Wrong occupation ठीक नहीं तो in that case we can also question that local उला पर भी that number ठीक ठाक है ना पता kan ठीक ठाक है तो even if we know that is Nirmal Jain का माते आसे भी तो लोकल मन प्राय हराम है से ताई प्राय लोकल मन प्राय ताई के सपोर्ट कर से तो मैं ताती की कोडबो होले भी मैं को तो Nirmal Jain ने इशू लाते हैं इतु लोकल प्राय जोर प्राय इशू के तो that will also prove that he is also actively involved with Nirmal Jain ना होय तो इतना तो कुन भी नागा मन कुन भी नागा Nirmal Jain के बच्चा बोली बाहर नहीं थे Nirmal Jain तो कोई ताई नेशनल वर्कर्स कंगे जेट के सब ताई ना मुख बहादुर ऐसे हम भी कहूँ तो मैं भी अमिताभ बच्चन के जाने को तो मैं भी सेम रे को 2 बार 3 बार लोग पूछे तो फोटो भी खींचे तो मैं भी ना मैं भी वही पता नहीं मिनिस्टर के जाने तो नंबर भी आसे मैं भी को पढ़ो तो मैं भी इन नालंगा नंबर आसे तो श्री नालंगा मैं भी सिर्फ तो नंबर आसे तो ऐसा सोशल वर्कर वी हैव कांटेक्ट मैं भी फोटो खींचना आसे ना और मैं भी नेशनल वर्कर्स के जाने खानदान खान भी नेशनल वर्कर्स खानदे आसे ना तो मैं भी जाने को तो बट दिस आर ऑल मिसयूज टाइम इन्हीं मिसयूज को मैनिपुलेट करसे आमी जाना तक तो होय गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स कलना इन्वॉल्वमेंट होगा पर होले भी ताई गवर्नमेंट कहीं भी ताई मिसयूज करे से इति इंडिजिनस तो मैं जाना तक तो गवर्नमेंट तक भी नाजिंग थाकिबो इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग होले भी एवरीबॉडी नागा मानो होबी दिमापड़े थाका मन नागा मानो होबी प्लेस मानो होबी एवरीबॉडी नोस दैट Nirmal Jain came in early 80s itu सब मन कोई हल Nirmal Jain तक खानी तो अलग कोई itu आसे
Apart from all the facts and figures that you have provided, at the end of the day, what matters is this real Nirmal Jain, whom you allege is now in Manipur, the son of
Balchan is the first name.
Baljan.
There is no such evidence of that, but we can go for RTI also. RTI marang itu electoral to shi question hona na itu to tala bacha khan ko jai jise itu makan we do par bol bi.
So what you're alleging is this Nirmal Jain, the so-called Nirmal Jain, is claiming himself to be the son of Baljan Jain. Now Baljan Jain laga bacha be Nirmal Jain ka thakibo. Thakani to taido.
Nai. Asul to dala babala nam bi Balchan Jain ase. Aru utu malna nam bi Balchan Jain ase.
So, okay.
For example, he's Michael Kat. I am Hinoto. To tala babala nam tu kaki bi thakise. Aru mala babala nam bi kaki bi thakise.
Yes.
So,
Okay. So
yes. So I took his father's name and
so now
they are not
the real sons and daughters of Baljan Jain. Have you tried contacting them?
No,
and then
we
can they
couldn't.
come and prove? Because in the court of law, that will be the only admissible
In
fact.
this
No,
land
no.
that they fully migrate to
See,
Manipur.
even if they don't come in witness or not, that is not the issue here. Because Nirmal Kumar Jain la bhai tu Pradeep Jajar asu tu. Aro Dilip Jajar asu tu. Ye to bahas tu takan bi. Ashok Jajar asu tu. To Bhauriwalal Baljan Jain tu Nirmal la dada bhi noy, buni bhi noy. Mahavir Prasad bhi Baljan Jain bhi Mahavir Prasad Baljan Jain bhi tala दादा भी न भाई भी न कापुर जन्म तो itu kan asu to kina itu tala baba ki claim kora to itu baba to tala chukra khan to alag ase aro Nirmal Jain la bhai khan to alag ase to thik ase Nirmal ki misa kobo to itu haram mane se Pradeep Jajar tala dada भी नहीं kina achan भी ko pare halbi other card pan card asu to documentation asu to tatero dur lobo so itu to they don't have to come all the way from Manipur also itu dini proof if they ase mati bishi bikai gena ase tai nah to Nagaland number ta mati bikai gena ase nah to Nagaland to marwari to marwari samaj to supply calling ko san jabi na mati kiman bikai gena ase kiman non locals kam ase kiman non locals 80% Baljan Jain mein bigala asu to we don't have to tell you na I mean sorry Nirmal Jain mein bigala asu to na kiman non locals ite mati gena ase almost all the lands they bought it from Nirmal Jain. So that is a living witness. To kan isna ami kan actor expose korbo kase ami kan jaino khoto mati koto kinshe kole to Nirmal Jain koi to documents ka kole to Nagamala nam thake so this is it holi bi tade by chance Nagamala pra king na thakishe aru itu man kan husa pra bi indigenous thakishe indigenous thashile to kinbo pare that means Baljan Jain is very smart second thing is by chance pura indigenous man 1930 lebi indigenous certificate thakana ko lebi itibi to thik nai now the problem is mati iman bigai gena ase indigenous thaka man na thaka man logo kun government officials kan pura land pata banwa ha tumte itu plains man kan la nun locals kan na indigenous certificate manga nai ho that we are also wondering we are also trying to find out second thing is Nagamandu aji kali hi to media khan ulai she nai la to pora time to media khan iman kiba thaka nai to accessible thaka nai to so Nagaman nijo kuma Nagaman to itabe bosi pala jaisu to ta khan to naji to plan am khan non locals kini bigaw na pare ta khan bigaw laibo to samlen owner pola purana man khan to naji ni bigai dise pare to bigai dise najan kena aru itu nun local ke bigai aru itu nun local bi loi she najan ken hoichi bi kinishe gole to land revenue officer jagina pata banabo to breeders and officials kan hoju to ta khan to you are not supposed to buy this ko parbo to am kan chin regulation article 371 and land revenue officer regulation ka se ko parbo to so coin is there is a high chances kunma man system to guskini bi kam kon thake paro gena ami to ka ase halbi first thing Nirmal ke action no wala we need to stop him tai to jane ase deni sala pishe guna jana se mati sab bigai kina Nagamala mati sab bigai kina tai pola jawala asu to cross process kina pola jawala asu to itu ko thobo we need to stop him
So all the people who have bought land from him, the non-locals, will they be displaced?
we will do fact finding if we find any guilty ma kurunga aru din bi atai khan Jain samaj kan aise Jain samaj kan hatu Jain samaj kan bi Nirmal pra land kodise hona to hole bi Jain samaj kan Jain samaj kan dise acha mondir thakise na for example this issue is very important sorry is related to this issue only okay but it is very important to Naga people should know acha nun locals kan indigenous certificate digena mati kinmo pare indigenous certificate nai koile to mati kinmo na pare no to nun locals organization kan kina ki digena mati kine under which legal terms what documents under which legal terms can the nun nagas NGOs buy a land it is very important okay at the kun legal terms likhina ase ami kan dang company kan noile NGOs kan ke bahar man ka kine mati kinbo nide to we stop them to yete thaka man kan to why I'm saying this is chances kya ase kole to Ami khan tu example Bengali samaj na Bihari samaj noile Jain samaj Marwari samaj la number mati 1000 acres of land ni kingena rakhilbu ta khan tu ino kono duma dum manke lagai dibo ki koro parbo to andrwish legal term digina ase itu bi mon question ko lagi de give did be example nagaman hat pra in terms of crop kin lobo kuma nagaman to paisa kule to pakla jot na to in terms of crop kilbo bi nam pra to give did na mati to give did pra ta khan did bu to they have money ekbar itu khul dibe na 1 week they pura Nagaland ni kinlo itu kan to they have money so this is the thing that the government of Nagaland should also itu issue kan itu chances of exploiting us in so many ways itu kan bon korbo lage even the non locals NGOs they cannot buy land stop korbo lage makan religious practice ase mandir thakibo lage no like but kunma man family kan give the dikena school kan khulle she that's a different thing but apart from that itu stop korbo lage no actually they have money NGOs non locals NGOs they have money and there is no such legal terms that the outsiders NGOs can buy land na likha nai to at least indigenous thaka man to kibo pare ke na ase for individual nun nagas indigenous to holbi itu samaj la under the indigenous na thaka man bi kam kara su to to ekta organization to human being noi ta kan kun to legal documents digina mati kina ase I mean submit kuri kina NGOs indigenous certificate nai to ta kina na mati kina pare it kan bi stop kodo lage mohan it bi ta kan ko kina mo kata uncha apni kan bhajan project samaj kan mati kin kina ase guli to apni kan kun indigenous to develop noi organization non living thing na to kina dishe ko isle ini kin sho ko ase to matlab ta kan ini kin le sha iku dikra thakana ini bana le sho Ara makan we are thinking to buy more land and bring more development in Dimapur Kaze. Nah, we are thinking to buy more land again, build a school for Naga people Kaze. To build a school for Naga people, we gonna pura Dimapur hi enjoy na number kingin jesle ko thobo. Legal terms se na itbi sabo lagi to.
They have no go exactly which areas also are there that he has occupied land and selling it off. So that whoever is buying at this moment, they will be aware
I
that
think
it's going to be disputed or it's a problem.
disputed areas here. I don't know how this.
Look, area.
I mean,
specific area.
national. So, I mean, I think I have kept that details in my home. See, one is now specific details will be I can question will be budget prime specific details going to be if a person is found to be a genuine. Nah, tai genuine taking tai ke limelight or it be I think they can also put up a defamation case against us. So as of now,
mention the areas.
No.
that as of now to unless we do fact finding process.
We also need facts and reports.
See, let first of all let us stick here. I mean, verification is going on. Nah, fact finding I say we cannot just randomly give out. Please understand our position also. They also have their rights. They also have their advocates. They are due legal procedure. They are also doing. Now let's stick it to the Nirmal having this fake indigenous certificate. Fraud kurigena, government ke dhokha digena, tai banai gena, tai tu indigenous gena, itu loi gena. Mati kiman kinkina se tala property kiman ase itu seize korbo lage tala indigenous seize korbo lage in order to stop his other activities also are it indigenous number kiman the benefit kiman the activities na ki business korse kiman beneficiaries tai loi gena se itu stop korbo lage first let's stick to this and then for other if we find anything again we'll call you back and we'll expose it in the public domain.
Last thing, verification drive ILP. Does this mean that the government needs to now really enforce strictly that these are not from way back, they have fake indigenous certificates?
Actually, encroachment of land and issuing of indigenous certificate is a bit different from ILP actually again. That's just different thing. ILP is actually, it is not called inner line permit actually. ILP is supposed to be inner line pass. Aisha, they can extend but they cannot renew again. They have to go back.
Someone like Nirmal Jain has fake documents, so he's going to get ILP
exactly.
easily.
So poila takan government of Nagaland pra ILP nidia karni ILP impose no kara karni to itu Nirmal Jain khan pra itu hasu to that is why ILP is needed kwasu mohan to na to as of now administrative khan pra ILP impose kurishe na so let us also be as a citizen, as a US and media fraternity. At this juncture, at least government is doing something. तो आमी खान government के support करले बाल होबो नेकी. एक बार fully implement तो करना बोले आस्ते आस्ते face by face. In notice that there, Arunachal होबी, Mizoram होबी, ना. Kot होबी ता हामी first ILP था खाब ने they were hiccup, ना. Bahal पर smooth पर दलो परा नहीं. There were so lot of hurdles and loopholes. So सब district भी सब state भी ना तक तो obviously महान government of Nagaland भी इतने impose करने तो problem तो थकीबो inconvenience थकीबो but let us support the government इतो ILP भाल पर impose कराप से offline खान की खान को government के allowed कर भी इतो से we'll see it what modalities should be there किनाका what type of mechanism to check इतो तो आरो महान we can further proceed on that part yeah.
When are you submitting to DC?
By tomorrow. Actually, we thought of submitting today, but due to some unavoidable circumstances, we couldn't.
Nagaland TV, Sop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.